Welcome back to another, I'll say another UFC live talk. This time with them predictions before that, there was, I'll tell you, there was some announcements, as in Julia Pancha versus Amanda Nunes. Kind of surprised that they're running that back again since Julia Pena, or I mean Amanda Nunes, kind of won that last fight convincingly, as in giving Pena a ass whooping, big time. I mean big time ass whooping. Um, Thought they would go some other way with that, but I guess Julia Pancha, and that's actually a main event too. Kind of shook us, or shocking, from the UFC to have two women's headlining a card, but hey, look at that. I mean, Julia Pena. Amanda Nunes is considered the GOAT. Maybe some others would think Valentina Shevchenko, but Shenko has obviously, or she had just lost to Elisa Grasso. So, um, choose whoever you want and all, but yeah, we got that. I think it's 290 or 290 or something. 289 or 290. One of the two. Not 100. I don't really have anything to show where, because they haven't really posted. 288 is Sterling Cejudo. Yeah, so they don't really got that much posted other than that at the freaking moment. Then Mans Holland and Masvidal got into an altercation again. TMZ had the video. I thought it was just some random fan or something who was just, talking shit to Jorge Street Jesus Masvidal, but it wasn't. I guess it was Kevin Holland again. Joe Schmo actually had an interview with Kevin Holland, and he asked him why the situation happened, and he said that I guess during one of the Game Bread events, Holland went to go see a fight, a friend of his or something, and I guess some stuff was said, and eventually him and Holland, once they seen each other at the fight, not Tom Holland, not his bitch ass, Kevin Holland. So once they seen each other, Kevin Holland said some shit, and they started talking a whole bunch of shit to each other, and then that happened. I guess the second altercation, which was today or yesterday, since it's Saturday today, and it was I believe it was Friday. I was wondering. I'm like, man, man's had a fight with, or he didn't have a fight, as they say. He jumped. Oh boy, Colby Covington, Chaos Covington. Should be Masvidal's Covington, but it obviously he's not. But yeah, I was kind of shocked to see that. That was like one of the first things I saw today, and when I went on Instagram, seeing that Masvidal was trying to get into it with another fighter. I mean, he has kids all, at the fight and all that stuff. I'm like, the fuck are you doing, man? But yeah, 38-year-old. Masvidal starting some more shit. They're kind of hyping up a fight between them, most likely coming in the future, which me and most people want to see. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it happens. But if Masvidal obviously gets this win, there's a good chance that doesn't happen. But yeah, straight to the predictions, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that's the only other news that came out. The face-offs happened. That was also Friday, and nothing really said. That was pretty much the biggest thing that came out of that. The fights that I already said, and now to the predictions. Rosas Jr. obviously hasn't been tested yet. Christian Rodriguez, he did. Oh, that was the other thing. He missed weight. I don't know if that's strategy or anything. Sometimes people say that's strategy. missing weight. But how is that strategy when you're fucking losing, I believe, half your purse or some of your purse, or if you win, um, I forget how the fucking thing goes, but yeah, you lose some money or a good amount of your money. Obviously, UFC doesn't pay as much to the fighters that are up and coming, even though these guys are on the main card and everybody in the main card is getting paid pretty fucking well. Other than these two guys, Rosas Jr. obviously is gonna be getting bank as long as he keeps getting them dubs, and me and most people believe that he's going to get this one too, even though Christian Rodriguez has a couple of submissions under his belt. I mean, he's most likely the underdog, so if you want to make a little money, make some dough, probably, I mean, put some on Rodriguez, get shit for a little dough. But yeah, I got Rosas winning it though. Kevin Holland, Santiago Ponzibio. Ponzibio is a black belt, but Kevin Holland can put them submissions in too. It's seeming more like that this fight is going to be on the or standing up, but I've said that before, and somehow, some way, they end up on the fucking ground doing some, as Masvidal says, crotch sniffing. That's not my wording. That's, even though it's from my mouth, it's from that's something that oh boy Jorge Masvidal has coined himself. I don't hear much people saying it other than him, but I feel like it's gonna be a thing or should be a thing. Adrian Yones Rob Font. To be honest, I don't even remember the last fight that Adrian Yones had, but Rob Font's boxing, just because he lost to Vieira, Marlon Vieira, most people probably forget how dominant Mans could be, and most people are looking like they're with Adrian Yones. Let's look at his record real quick. 16-3 at the moment. Tony Kelly was his, I guess that was his UFC first UFC fight, and that was a TKO first round. I don't remember that, but if I were to watch the highlights, I'd probably be like, yeah, I did watch that, and that happens a lot. While watching so many damn UFC fights, you just, I don't know. Well, at least me, I forget a good amount of the fights, unless it's like just a fight you really can't forget, like Usman knocking out, or I mean, Rocky knocking out Usman, or like Stephen Boy Wonder Thompson versus Kevin Holland, which was a Slabanaka. And yeah, fights like that. If anything else happens, a lot of times it goes over me head. I just pretty much forget about it. John Jones obviously just making Serigon look like a children or look like a child. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with Rob Font. But I mean, this fight could go either way. Then the co-main event, the one that's been, or most people are looking forward to. I'm looking forward to this one. I don't really have a favorite in this one because I'm a big fan of Afro Burns, and I fuck with Jorge Masvidal as well. But that's what happens. I mean, me specifically, but yeah, I don't know, as soon as I start watching interviews and stuff and hearing their like fucking stories and shit, I'm like, man, I'm a fan of this guy's something else and this and that. And I've listened to a good amount of Gilbert. Like, I've probably listened to 3 or 4 of their interviews, each one of these fighters. Which is a weird thing that Israel and Alex Pereira didn't actually get as much interviews, but compared to Jorge Masvidal, obviously Alex Pereira just doesn't get as much interviews because he doesn't speak English, but obviously he has a fucking translator. So that translator, or he just doesn't want the interview. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't see him. That's the other thing. They didn't probably show up on my feed, so I was like, fuck it. All the Jorge's and the Burns interviews just kept popping up and stuff. The other thing is they weren't really talking shit and all. Even when Jorge today was, or Friday, it was the last interview he had, or when Joe Rogan asked him something, he was like, I'm going to knock you the fuck out on this night. And he was like, in a way, he didn't apologize, but he was like, oh no, he was like, it's not personal. Which, it's a fight game. It should almost never be personal, but that shit that's happening between him and Kevin Holland seems like it's getting personal, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, man, I'm actually looking forward to that one compared to most fights that are coming up. But obviously, Henry Cejudo, Triple C versus Sterling is one fight that's I'm looking forward to. And whoever the hell John Jones decides to fight. Alex Pereira. He is somewhat. But the winner of that one, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Jorge Street Jesus Masvidal, just because it is striking. But Gilbert Burns has got that elite ground game. I guess elite compared to Jorge Masvidal. I wouldn't say elite compared to the likes of Usman and Colby Covington, and some of the other boys, but or like Hamzat Shemaev, but jiu-jitsu game. But still, I wouldn't be shocked if Gilbert Burns ends up getting that dub. Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. This one is Alex Pereira's strength. Glover Teixeira. I mean, he's been hanging around with Glover Teixeira forever, so obviously his wrestling game or ground game has or most likely gotten better since Teixeira has retired and probably been hanging out with him every single fucking day ever since the Israel Adesanya fight and his fight, and I'm pretty sure they're in the same spot now. So with all that being said, and Israel Adesanya, a lot of people are saying Israel actually didn't say much at all this week. To be honest, he pretty much just kept saying the time for talking is over. And Pereira just kept trying to like fire him up and shit. Obviously, the Pikachu situation where he wore that Pikachu jacket, there was a video of him putting his hand up while Israel Adesanya was doing some like commentary or some reaction video or some shit. And so pretty much he's been trying to mess with him. Israel did wear a dog collar, which I don't know what the fuck to think about that, to be honest. But I mean, he's got to walk out to some DMX or something if he's wearing a dog collar and doing all that other shit. Because usually he has a pretty entertaining walkout. I don't know if he is in this one because he's looking like he's really focused. He's lost 3 to this guy: 2 in kickboxing, 1 in MMA. So he's got to get this dub, or he said it's one of the biggest rivalries in the history of mixed martial arts, which he's probably right, but in a way he's wrong because Alex Pereira has gotten the majority of the wins. The majority of the wins, as in he's gotten 3. Even though Israel Adesanya has gotten a lot of those, or looking like the better fighter at times, but Alex Pereira's wrestling or striking, or just power actually. His striking is really good anyway. I mean, he did knock out Sean Strickland. There was somebody else he took out before that, but he does have the one loss to his name, and that was, I believe, it was a submission loss. I'm not 100. Don't quote me on this one, but he does have the one L to his name. Adesanya obviously has a 2. Obviously, the one to Blachowicz, which he could have won, but Blachowicz, similar to Pereira, it was the ground game that kind of, or the wrestling defense that kind of killed him in that one. Because, well, the other thing is he has in Blachowicz is a light heavyweight, and he just couldn't match his strength. That's probably one of the weaknesses for Adesanya, is the strength compared to Pereira's. And I mean, if he goes up to light heavyweight, that's kind of died down at the moment. The freaking going up to light heavyweight, but that's what happens. You lose your title. You gotta focus in your own division, and that's what he's been doing. Pereira also did say that he's willing to fight Costa, or I believe he also said Robert Whittaker, but he didn't. It sounds like he doesn't want to fight Hamzat Shemaev, because he did say he wants to fight him, but that was more of a catchweight. It was after the Adesanya fight, a month or 2 or so after the Adesanya fight. It was going to be in Brazil. He said he was willing to fight him, and he couldn't make the weight in time. But so in a way, I don't know if Hamzat missed out or not, because Hamzat's going to get a title shot eventually anyways. He's one of UFC's guys, as in the guys seems like they want him to get a title and want him to do good, and probably get that title and eventually just make a big ass run, as in a Usman style run or a Adesanya style run. I wouldn't say Jones, because Jones is in a class of his own. But back to the prediction for this one, I'm 100% going to go with Israel Adesanya. One thing Adesanya said, he's got to keep the pressure on him, which he actually did in the first fight. Anyways, he did keep the pressure, but just slipping up a couple times. He did have the leg kick checked, and Adesanya said his leg was all like, I forget the exact wording he said. It was like shook or some shit. But if he watches out for all that stuff, just pretty much has a really. He did say he wants to knock him out, which he should want to knock him out after losing 3 different times to Mans Pereira. You would think he'd want to knock him out. Man seems pissed off. Seems like he's out for vengeance. No, I've never seen him this serious. And the press conference, the stare down, I think it was this first one, just one of the craziest ones because they were just like, just the way they were staring at each other. And I was like, let's fucking bang right now, dude. Let's just get it in and fucking finish this fight, or just get this fight started right now. Dana White just had to like tap both fighters away from each other, like chill the fuck out, take a chill pill, both of y'all. But I'm 100% gonna go with Adesanya, even though I don't know. I feel like this fight might be closer to a 60-40, 60-40, 60 going in Israel's way, 40 in the Pereira way. It's closer than most people think. But even the pros, as the pros like Bisping and all the other guys, DC and everybody, nobody seems to like have a clear prediction like, oh, this guy's gonna or that guy's gonna win. It's one of those kind of fights. You just really don't fucking know. Um, because most of the fights, Israel is winning. Like he said, he's winning until he's not. Until he's not, as in two of those fights, he was winning by points, and Israel is one of those fighters that wins by points. That's one reason why a lot of people started kind of hating on Mans Israel style bender. But I mean, you're a fighter. You're not trying to go out there and get hurt. But that is what happened last time he ended up fighting Alex Pereira. But yeah, there's I don't believe there's any other news. But yeah, I'm going with Israel on that one, 100%. Chris Curtis. I don't know if I talked about that. Actually, I already said it yesterday. I got Chris Curtis winning. His last fight was Chapa. It was Chapa. Because his opponent, who was it? He ended up losing his last fight. His opponent, Jack Hermanson. That fight, after what, 2 rounds or so? Or was it 3-rounder? Or was it the second round or whatever it was? He got he does got the defense, as in Chris Curtis. But before all that, he just was winning by the points, and it was kind of clear. Chris Curtis started just started getting pissed off. I believe there was one point in the fight where he actually flipped him off. I was kind of mad too because I did want to see Chris Curtis get the dub. I believe he would have leveled up, and not leveled up as in like moving up in the rankings and all that shit, which would have been nice for his career. Older fighter, took him a long time to get to this stage, and I still believe that he deserved that spot over Rosas Jr., even though, like, Rosas Jr. was out there saying that, he doesn't know what these people are talking about. He deserves the shot, but let's be real, man. You're 7-0. You're 18. I don't know if you deserve it over somebody that's, a little bit, that's been in the game for so damn long. I mean, even that Carl Williams Chase Sherman fight could be in that spot, but not really. I can't say that much because Chase Sherman is more of the name. Carl Williams isn't. Carl Williams is an up-and-comer as well in the heavyweight division. And if it was Chris Barnett, Chase Sherman, then I would 100% say they deserve that fight, or those fighters deserve to be in the main card compared to Rose Jr. But let's see if there's any other news. There isn't any other news because I haven't heard of any other news other than the Jorge Masvidal altercation with Kevin Holland. Like I said, I didn't actually know that it was another altercation between them, but whatever. So 33 minutes ago, Dana White says Masvidal versus Edwards next if Jorge beats Gilbert Burns. Leon beats Colby. Oh, well, yeah, we kind of fucking knew that. I don't think I needed to hear Dana White say that. That was kind of obvious. Actually, not that obvious, because Bilal Muhammad probably deserves Out of all the fighters right now, I believe Bilal Muhammad deserves that rematch. But the money fight is Masvidal. But maybe it's because Bilal isn't the sell, as in they're trying to make that money. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thanks for watching. Y'all's have a good one.